Hello children, today we shall begin the chapter Equality in Indian Democracy, the first chapter of civics. So, equality in Indian democracy. So first of all, let's start with the term democracy. See, demo means people. Like when I say demonstration, that means something which is presented by the people. If I say demography, it is the study of the people or the population. Democracy means cracy means rule and demo means people. So rule of the people, for the people, by the people. Rule of the people. How do people rule? Actually, all people cannot rule, so they choose their representatives who rule for them. Right, so rule of the people. Then the government that is selected, it should rule for the people. That means it should do things for the well-being of the people. And rule by the people, that means this government is elected by the people, right? So, and people have the right to remove the government also. So democracy is a form of government where the people choose their representatives. Proper elections are held, proper discussions are held, and then the government is chosen. That elected government always has a fear that it might be removed if it does not work as per the will of the people. So when it makes decisions after a lot of thinking, after a lot of consultation, and it ensures equality and justice. So what is equality now? Equality means treating people equally in all spheres. Now, equality starts with universal adult franchise. What do you mean by universal adult franchise? See, universal adult franchise means that in India, all citizens of the age 18 and above are allowed to vote. And their vote values the same, irrespective of religion, caste, creed, gender, etc. I give you a very small example. In Fiji, the value of vote of Indian Fiji is less in comparison to the native Fiji. That means, different citizens have, different value of their votes. If I give you example of Saudi Arabia, earlier, a vote of one man was equal to the vote of two women. That means vote of two women is equal to vote of one man. So that means the vote of women did not count the same as that of man. Right? So is it equality? Like if I say the vote of the rich counts more than the vote of the poor. No, it is wrong. Right? So universal adult franchise means all the citizens have the right to vote, irrespective of religion, caste, creed, etc. and their vote value is the same. Here they have given a case study in your book where they have told that there is a couple, Kana and Aarti. They are poor, they live in a one-room house in a slum area, they have two children, and Kana works as a laborer at construction site while Aarti is a domestic help. They went for elections, they went to cast their vote. Now, Aarti's employers were also there to cast the votes. So, Kana and Aarti, who lived in one-room house in a slum area along with their two children, they went to cast vote. Kana works as a laborer in the construction sites, while if I talk of Aarti works as a domestic help. They both went to cast vote, and now Aarti saw her master and mistress, the employers where she worked. They were also standing in the same queue as means Kahana and Aarti was standing in the same queue, and their master and mistress, that means their employers, were also standing in the same queue. And she asked her husband to notice the same, and she was so happy. She felt that she was being equally treated. However, when she returned home, she had to stand in a long queue to fetch water. Now this is poverty. While the rich enjoys the resources, the poor has to stand in long queues to get water. There is garbage all around. They are not able to meet their basic needs. This is called inequality, right? This is economic inequality. People are not equal in terms of money, in terms of the distribution of resources. Now, to reduce this inequality, right, government has come up with so many schemes. Government taxes the rich more and the poor less. Government gives them goods, food at subsidized prices, then runs school for them, school so that their children can study, and by studying they can improve their lives and they can get rid of this poverty. Then the government launches employment generation programs to give them employment. So government takes step to improve their condition. There is an aim that everybody should have equal resources. There should not be any inequality in the country, and I really wish that we are able to achieve this aim at the earliest possible, and then only our country can get developed. Now, second inequality is caste inequality. In the earlier times, the society was divided into various castes. There were Brahmins, there were Kshatriyas, there were Vaishyas, and then there were Shudras. Now, these Brahmins, what they did, they never taught these Shudras. Now, when they never taught these Shudras, they said that they belong to lower caste and they should not attend the schools, and they did not teach them. As a result, they got backward. They never got access to education. Then they were asked to live in a corner of the village. They were not allowed to draw water from the wells. It was believed that if they drew water from the wells, the well would become polluted. They were treated like pollutants. So for so many years, they were not given access to education. They were mistreated. They were given ill treatment, and as a result, when India got independence, then it was realized, and when the constitution was being formed, B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly means an assembly which was drafting the constitution for India. It realized that this discrimination has to be removed. And for so many years, they have been discriminated. To remove this discrimination of so many years, they should be given reservation. So they have been given reservations. Reservations means there are seats reserved for them in Lok Sabha elections, in Rajya Sabha elections, so that the people from the lower caste become the politicians, and then they help the people of their caste, right? And then they are also given reservations when it comes to educational institutions, because for so many years they have been denied education, they have been denied access to education. So now the government tries to give them free coachings, and also make provisions like if they score less marks, then also they would be through the college, to compensate for all those years, right? So this is reservation which has been done by the government. And why has this been done? Done for the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes, to compensate for all those years when they had been discriminated, because of which they got poor and they felt neglected, they felt outrooted from the society. So now the government tries to provide them amenities like education, roads, water, electricity, and in our constitution it is clearly written that untouchability, treating someone inferior, is a serious offense. Caste discrimination should not be there. So in earlier times there was caste inequality, which led to so many problems, and so now reservation is there. Similarly, there is gender based inequality, where the boy is preferred rather than a girl. People often go for sex selective abortions, where if they get prenatal sex determined means when the child is in the womb, when a woman is expecting, then only they get the test done to determine whether it is a boy or a girl. And if it is a girl, they get that child killed. This is called female feticide. What is it called? It is called female feticide, and female feticide is now banned in India. So this is another example of discrimination, inequality between the males and the females. Then when a woman is born, when a girl is born, sometimes the parents or the other family members don't let her even become of 1 year of age, and they kill before she attains age 1. That is called female infanticide. Now that is also banned. So, and it is often seen that in a case of male and female are neglected in the families. Now it is not so. However, the same is seen in some inferior parts of the country, some interior parts of the country, where there is no access to education. Women are not sent to school. Then the sex ratio is very less in India. That means if you count the number of females in the country, they are less in comparison to male. So all these inequalities exist in the society. However, their intensity has reduced over the period, but then we need to get over these inequalities. Now, equality has to be attained because all human beings are sensitive and all human beings deserve equal treatment. And if everyone is treated equally, then only the nation can progress. Equality has to be attained. Our constitution also states that all people are equal in the eyes of law. The constitution prohibits any kind of discrimination on the basis of religion, caste, creed, etc. You cannot tell someone that you belong to the lower caste and hence you cannot enter public park, or you cannot enter the shop, the hotels. Untouchability, treating someone inferior, telling him or her that you cannot touch the well will become polluted, is a serious offense. Untouchability is a serious offense. All people have to be treated equally in the eyes of law. Discrimination on the basis of religion, caste, creed is not allowed, it is banned. Untouchability, practicing untouchability is forbidden. And then the government is trying to provide equal opportunities to everyone, and so to compensate for all those years when these people of lower caste had been discriminated, the government has given them reservation. Free education is being given. There is an act called Right to Education Act, which ensures that there are public schools to provide free education to the people of the lower caste, and there they are also given free midday meal so that they get a proper diet, their nutritional requirement is met, and at the same time food can attract the children to come to the school. Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan has been started by the government. That means education should be extended to one and all, because education is one way we can fight any kind of discrimination. Once you are educated, you can easily get job, and then you can make your future, and you can make the future of all those who are dependent upon you. So study harder. Then Manrega has been launched by the government. Manrega is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Manrega, this act has been launched to give 100 days employment to the people who are not able to get proper employment, so that they get employment for at least 100 days, and for 100 days money is there at their place, so that they can live a healthy life. Then National Rural Health Mission is another important initiative to improve the health conditions of the people. Now, inequality has not been a problem peculiar to India. There have been other countries also which faced problems, like South Africa. South Africa, you must have heard about Nelson Mandela, who struggled against apartheid, a policy of racial discrimination, where the blacks and the whites had a separate church, separate schools, and separate buses, separate swimming pools. The blacks were not allowed to enter the vicinity of white or enter the areas of white without any permit cards, and then the blacks were killed by the whites. Similarly, in USA also, there has been discrimination, on the basis of color, skin color. That is called racial discrimination. Then Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, they all were African Americans who struggled against it. There in USA there was a rule that in public transport the blacks should always occupy the back seats, and in case any white enters, then the black should get up and offer the seat to the white. Rosa Parks, she did not vacate the seat for a white, and that was a revolution. She actually brought a revolution, and she induced a new hope. She seethed a new hope in the African American community, and now there are strict laws against any kind of discrimination. However, because all these years they have been discriminated, so the condition of the African Americans is still not good. They are not able to send their children to school because all these years they have been discriminated, and so they have become backward. So it is necessary that there are proper rules and regulations, there is equality as per the law, and we also have to be equally sympathetic and empathetic towards our fellow humans. We should not discriminate, we should treat them fairly, and we should have that empathy, and we should have that sense of humanity, and equal, and a vision of equality. Equal treatment is the need of the hour. Equality is the need of the hour to improve the condition of the society. With this, I wind up the session, and I request all of you to understand the essence of democracy, equality, be empathetic, and at the same time take very good care of yourselves. Thank you and have a great day ahead.